see behind me. I'm just walking around my area, um, heading towards the lake where normally it's just a good thinking area. I don't know. I don't know why I woke up and thought today was the day to do a live video, a live in your face. Today is reflection day, as I've decided it to be. So let me see if I can actually turn this up. Let's see. So you can hear me better. I'm keeping it landscape so I can keep it like a YouTube video, but who knows how this is going to go. Oh man, so it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've done anything vloggy wise or live wise for that matter, right? So here I am coming to you raw from my home place in New York by this wonderful, let me show you where I'm walking towards if I could turn this around. Yeah. See that? That's where I'm walking towards. Yeah, it looks like swampland, doesn't it? That's essentially because it is a swamp, but who cares? So, what do I have to say for myself after all this time? Well, it's been a year. It's been a year, and it's a year of a lot of stuff happening in this particular month as May. This is June, now the month of things coming to an end. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, of course, here comes the mail lady. Mail lady's going to be seeing me, so we're going to do this. Hey, mail lady, I'm going to turn the camera on you. Yeah, turn around because I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, they know. They know. So turn it around and going away. Goodbye, mail lady. Yeah, so this is the swamp area. This is what it looks like out here. You can see. Normally there's geese or there's some kind of like bird out here migrating, doing their thing. But today I guess they decided they didn't want to do that. So that's okay. Whew. So, as it may, on my channel, I have stayed away from doing anything live because I haven't really had too much to say, as it may. I haven't had too much to say. Um, but I was in a reflective mode today and I decided today was the day to reflect. So let's do some reflecting, shall we? So June, we are coming up on my daughter Julia, who is now 18, and she will be graduating high school in another week or two, which is it's exciting. Did you guys hear that? That wasn't me, by the way. It sounded like some kind of like I told you geese are out here. So she's graduating high school, and also she has her dance recital coming up this weekend. The last of the recitals, as it may, after 13 years of doing recitals. It's crazy. It's crazy. All the hours and the time and the sweat, tears, blood, what have you put in. There it goes again. Of course, now you won't hear it because it starts it starts happening when I start talking. Let's see. Do you have anything else to say before I walk? I'm going to walk towards this sound, see if it comes back. Yeah, so 13 years of being the standby parent, watching her get older and doing her thing and being proud and but spending all those hours of just, being that mom that engages and, involves herself with her child's um I heard you. It's coming from this. It's coming from over here. I don't know. It's almost like I'm on the Gong Show. It's like, "Ah." So yeah, 13 years of being that, and that's coming to an end, which I have to say is bittersweet. I miss it. I will miss it for her. I won't miss it for myself. I won't miss it for all of those hours of having to put up with, the other. Oh, you don't say. Wow. Sounds like a phone going off of an So yeah, there's that. And of course, school. Uh, yeah, it's been a career for her, I will say. High school has been a career for all of us. Her persevering as a young adult and now as an adult, she has done amazingly. I'm very proud of her. I'm trying to hold in all of my emotions. I've been trying to do that since she started this year. Actually, the end of last year. I've been trying to just hold my emotions, not really, but it's been overwhelming. I will say that. But I'm happy. I'm excited for her that she finally, gets to venture out into the world and do whatever she wants to do. With that being said, so for me, yeah, I guess it's kind of like a come to. There's the birds. Birds are beautiful out here. You can see. Wait, watch this bird guy right here. Can you see him? Of course, I can't zoom in for some reason. It's weird. Why can't I zoom in? Oh, here we go. Oh, he's up there. Wait, let's see if I can get a better. I'm sorry, guys. This is a bad angle. Hello, Mr. Birdie. Can you see? Okay, there he is. There he is. He's really pretty. He's got like an orange patch on his chest. You can't tell, though, of course. Can't tell. But anyway, and there he goes into the wild. Yeah, so I'm having that coming to a certain age. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that I'm coming to fruition with the age that I chronologically am. No, that's not going to happen. Nope, not now, not anytime soon. But it does cause you to pause and think about just where you're at. So where am I at today? I'm on this walk with you. I'm just chilling and taking in nature, taking in the quiet, getting a hold of my thoughts, and just seeing where it lands me. As far as content on my channel, it's the same stuff. It's I'm not too ignorant to the fact that I know that, YouTube has changed in the last few years. So us old people, we're ancient on YouTube now. It's like I've been on here for 10 years. 10 years, 10 years, and it's been a minute. I might have been on here longer. Who the hell knows anymore? I can't keep track. But one thing I do a lot of is reflections, and a lot of it has to do with the fact of just like how much I've grown from year to year, or not grown from year to year. But I will say publicly, in the last 2 years, I have grown more than I've probably grown for 10 years on my channel, and that's saying a lot. And I guess that takes you out of dealing with what goes on socially and publicly to really take in what matters and what you need to look at for yourself. And most of that was health. That was my physical health. That was my, and still is, mental health, especially mental health. And I'm not going to deny that that's not still a struggle because it is. Listen, you rude. Hmm. The honking. I don't know what that's about. Like, seriously, what is your issue? um, the mental stuff, been through a lot last couple of years, and then 2020 hit, and it was like forced to take inventory, forced to really look at what was important, forced to really find what mattered and what needed correcting. So that's what I did, essentially. We're never ever done correcting, and we're never ever done learning, and we're never ever done growing. That's a myth that we stop growing after a certain age. That's not true at all. Sorry, I got to take a swig. No. In fact, I think we become a lot more cognizant of the way we started to what we are now, how things have rapidly changed. And I notice that in myself each and every time I turn on a camera. Sorry about the wind, but it is nice. It feels really good because I felt like, what did I have to be? How do I have to make myself more palatable for whoever's watching me or whoever, personally in my life watching and is trying to derive like what mood I'm in, how I should, let's see if I'm back. Hopefully I'm back. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of it caused me a lot of mental stress because I always wanted people to see who I really was. I always wanted people to know all parts of me, not just, the funny part or the silly part, like the serious part, like the part where I actually had opinions and real, valuable, tangible sources that I could lend to other people, going through similar things or what have you. And a lot of the time, I felt like that didn't really come across the way I wanted it to. And it kind of went backwards on me a lot, especially with personal friendships and things of that nature. Like you never really see it until it's over, kind of a thing. Never really see it until you're forced to look at it again, and that's what happens. Like I look at some of the friendships I had, I look at some of the relationships I had, the length of time, why they were so important and why they became so incredibly devastating when they ended or when they didn't go the way I thought they should go, which is probably the operative word here, should. Um, I would say it's probably a part of like mental immaturity. See, I believe personally, when you are mentally with a, call it what you want, don't want to say disabled, don't want to say that. When you have a mental, uh, again, the honking, not illness either. I don't want to say illness, what have you. You guys know what I'm trying to say. When you're striving, when you're struggling with something mental, I believe that sometimes your brain's not fully mature. I believe that you're not really sometimes ready to reach the adult capability you are mentally because you're so fixed on going back and fixing what's wrong and going and resorting back to either childhood, infancy, adolescency, young adult, mid adult, and then therefore. And a lot of this may or may not make sense, but it's going to make sense today. So sometimes I look back and I see some of the things that I was involved in and some of the conversations I was involved in. And I'm like, whoa, wow, where were you that day? Like, where was your head? Like, I can actually read through by listening to myself and listening to my dialogue what was happening. I could really do that. And, And, it's sad that you can't go back in time and try to tweak it better like you can a car or a computer. Like you can always upgrade a car, upgrade a computer, but you can't upgrade your brain, unfortunately. You can only fix it for the time being. And then from that point on, you can't go back in time and fix it for what it was doing, all the damage it was causing you. And that is a struggle because I'm all about fixing things just meant to be fixed. Ah, that air. Ooh, we got some life going on. Got some life going on. Just saw a little splash go on down here. Did you want to come up and say hi? I don't really know what's going on. Can you see? Can you see? It's a bunch of dead leaves down there, and I'm afraid like I'm gonna get like Jason's hand come out and snap at me. So we're not gonna do that. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know. It is what it is. I just think that sometimes when you start to care better about yourself, you start to see things a little bit clearly. You start to understand, like maybe at the time, how you were behaving, you know, made sense then. And you were so adamant and so passionate about it. But when you look back on it now, you realize, like, maybe that wasn't the best way to go about things. Maybe that just wasn't the answer. That wasn't I don't know, the choice you made. Anyway, I digress. I digress a lot. This is what you get when you don't, when I'm not talking for a few months and all of a sudden I decide to turn on the camera. This is what you're going to get. So buckle up. Um, anyway, with that being said, I did watch someone today. I went back and I watched someone that I used to be friendly with. There's a car coming towards me, so just ignore it at this point if you like. I'm having a conversation, so it's all good. They're gonna drive, they're gonna look at me, they're gonna be like, "All right, so yeah, yeah, all right, good. It's nobody I know." Anyway, so and there they go. Bye bye, car. Um, I was watching somebody that I used to know, and some things were not going well for them. Oh wow, what did I do? I turned this around. There we go. The perception was things weren't going well for them. Guess they were going through a couple of months of hardship or what have you. And part of me, that little deviant part of me, is like, tried to warn you, tried to warn you, told you so. And the other part of me is like, you know what? Good, good that you found this out. Good that you finally realized in your own way that things aren't always exactly what you think they're going to be all the time, that they have a habit of changing on you. And when they do, sometimes you're not prepared for it. I've had a lot of that in my life. Things happen and I wasn't prepared for it. People change out of a clear blue, was not prepared for it. They do what they do. You do what you got to do. And that's it. Uh, my thing is moving forward, moving ahead, and going on past all that. Because to be honest with you guys, it gets exhausting. People are exhausting. Once you think you have them figured out and where they fit in your life and that they're going to be there and that's their stance, they change, they switch it up, or they're going through their own stuff. So now you become some other entity or non entity, as it may seem. So, unfortunately, with life, with age, with children growing, with the times changing, with the state of the world, the state of however, we all are supposed to just gravitate towards something. And what is that essentially? And that's why I think that sometimes that we create a mind frame that's comfortable enough to get us through. You know what I'm saying? Like it may not be the norm per se. Well, I'm hearing things today all around me. Look, 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 look. I don't know. It's like tadpoles or something's jumping around in there. I don't know what it is, but you're interrupting my flow. Oh, it happened again. What's going on? What is going on? Anyway, quit it. Interrupting my flow here. For all one of you. Thank you for the one that is watching. So I think you create a comfortable place to be in your mind. I think that's what happens. I think that's why they all think once you get older, you get crazier, but I don't think so. I think it's just you place yourself where you're the most comfortable and you go from there. I think that's what it is. I think you have to as a method of survival because if you're constantly just seeing and intaking, absorbing everything that's happening around you constantly, it is going to zap you of your very human energy, your humanness, your ability to thrive. It's a lot. It's a lot. I feel like I'm being followed. And I'm tripping. I feel like I'm being followed. Anyway, I'm just going to take this little path around once more. Anyway, so I think like for me, I kind of just stay where I know I'm comfortable because knowing the things I know and forging ahead at where they currently are, I would rather just be in a place where I can remember things fondly or feel good about, certain times in my life, things in my life that made me feel good about myself and not so bad. And, since I'm constantly working on trying to get better at correcting all of the stuff that I've been that has held me down, that doesn't make me as positive as I should be. Um, that's where I'm at with my mind. I'm like, okay, it's still cool to be, the kid. It's still cool to wear what I wear and wear my hair the way I do and listen to the music I do and try to see the good in small things and try to entertain myself in my mind when I can't anywhere else. Yeah. Yeah. Do you hear that? What the hell is that? So yeah. And then, when I look at other people, I still look at people fondly. I still look at people and and say that's them, that's their purpose or that is their journey and it doesn't always necessarily mean you're part of it. It's hard to take sometimes, especially with people that you're closest to and that you love so much, but unfortunately you can't join the journey unless they bring you there and it's hard to do in certain aspects because you don't know where their mind's going sometimes. So there's that. Did you hear this? I'm doing reflecting out here. Yeah. So in any event, this isn't normally what I do. Usually around this time, I'm like, doing the working out thing. This is my workout for today. I'm holding up this phone while I'm walking. But normally I'm working out, and that usually does wonders for me, especially now because it's all I really have too much control on is the physical and the mental stuff. Um, an update on my therapist. Oh man, oh man. Well, we've once again hit a brick wall on that front. I was on my website and I found this person and I read something that they wrote that resonated so deep within me. And I felt like, wow, maybe this is the person I need to be talking to because this is lucid. This sounds so so much like what I feel like I go through and maybe this is part of like my own uh diagnosis so to speak. And so therefore I made an appointment and all phone appointments. Nothing has been in person. And on the first, like you can I don't want to sound like this because it sounds like I'm being so judgmental, but on the first appointment, you kind of can get an idea of the way they're going to deal with you. He kind of was very simplistic, kind of very just like, well, for an example, I'll say, like, I felt something brought me down and I felt like that was me and I was plagued by it. And he's like, well, can you take a picture of it? No. Well, then if you can't take a picture of it, it isn't there, right? So, like, that's not you because you can't see it. And I know in some aspects that sounds like, "Oh, yeah, wow, ding," but there's more. There's more because after that, I just felt like I was talking to Dr. Seuss. Everything was very just very Seussical, very rhymey, very simplistic, very I could have figured that out on my own kind of thing. And I put up with it. It's been 4 sessions so per se. I put up with it, but I feel that frustration coming on that I'm like, this is not what I need. This is not, if I needed just that kind of like therapy 101 where it's very simplistic and you're just walking into it and you're just getting like, those little questions that they feed you. And mind you, in between these questions, there's dead silence. So it means I have to not navigate, navigate the whole conversation. Not good. Not good when you're going through a very awkward stage in your life when you're not comfortable with talking about yourself over and over again, yet again, after I don't know how many attempts. So I went through something. I went through an episode. I'm just going to say it. I went through an episode. I had a little bit of a break, a mental break. I was pretty triggered. And I texted him and said that I needed help, real help. And he was cordial enough to say that he would have "Oh, can you do this day and this time?" And I said, "Yeah." And the next day, he's like, "So what's going on?" I told him. And I was still post this episode I was going through. So I was still very hyped, still very upset, still very like, I need help. I need somebody to help me with this because I'm not handling this. And dude turned around basically, okay, in the midst of this and is like, "Well, maybe next time you need to just walk out." What? If I could have walked out, the simplest of a solution, if I could have just walked out, don't you think I would have? How about if you're not able to? How about if it's already set in motion? It's going. It's really, balls to the wall. There is no escaping. Well, maybe next time. See, the point is, ew, I just saw a mouse. The point is, you don't want it to get to the next time. And at that point, I was getting more flustered, more agitated, more frustrated. I was like, you know what? I said something a little extreme, like I'm taking myself, what if I just take myself out of everything and I hung up? And at that point, I was done. Like, this is like, I guess at my age, like, I just don't have the time to play these, like, preschool ABC type of therapy. Like, I really was looking for a straight up, um, professional opinion, professional diagnosis, and all I'm getting is the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s pretty much, and Dr. Seuss. And so at this point, I've had to cut that off, and I have to once again go looking for more. So that was disappointing. But there was one good thing that did happen the same day that that happened is I went back to what I started doing last summer around this time, and that was go on to Hey Peers. You already what? I didn't see that. I didn't see that. You already loaded, right? Loaded? I don't know what that means. Loaded? No, I'm not loaded at all. Um, sorry. So it's locked apparently on this part. Anyway, so the whole thing is now I went back and I went back on Hey Peers, which I have got in my description box of every video. Hey Peers, Support Group Central, and I went and looked for a meeting. And I was fortunate enough to find an anxiety support group, and I paid my $5 and I sat with 2 individuals, and it was like godsend. It was like, that's exactly what I needed at that point, at that time, for what just happened. It was perfect. And it's just other people. It's just people like you going through some stuff, having a bad day, what have you. And it was like the conversation was so perfect. It was exactly what I felt like I had been going through with people, with one person in particular. And the fact of hearing it fed back to me in different ways and different situations and voices, I felt so much better. And that is probably why I feel the way I do about therapy, because they don't realize that it's not just about, well, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? I'm telling you what I think about this. You're supposed to tell me where I'm at with that, like what that supposedly is so I can handle it or at least understand it better. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, still trying to look for somebody, but I think the going back to the meeting was probably the better of the options. It's smaller groups, it's, whatever topic you could find you need, whether you want to talk about depression, anxiety, the pandemic, the LGBTQ community, which go Pride Month, happy Pride Month. There's always something available for you. So that's where I went back to. And for that 55 minutes, I felt normal again, instead of feeling like I'm just, how do you say it? Round peg, square hole. Yeah, that's me. So it's in my description box. I don't usually advocate for people because when it comes down to mental health, it's all individual. You got to do what works best for you. But if you are so inclined and you need like something supportive and you don't want to be in person and you really want to get some support that day, I highly encourage you to check my description box and check out Hey Peers or supportgroupcentral.com, and just try it out. Try out a meeting, even if you don't want to say anything. They even have one on one peer supporters. Hey, Val. Hey. Hello, Chargers. So yeah, so that's my diatribe on support groups. At least those two. They really saved me from last summer. And then unfortunately, I guess it got busier during the fall and winter, of course, because of, everybody being home and the pandemic. So I kind of staved off. And then eventually I stopped going altogether, probably around, oh man, March of last year, which was a mistake. But um, March of this year, not March of last year, no. Um, So yeah, so everything I guess in life is a journey the time being, because literally I don't have too many people that I can talk to. I don't vent to anyone. I basically, I have my family, and that's getting kind of minimal with my having, discussions about what I need and what I'm going through and what have you. And I find that I talk to my daughter more than I talk to anybody. And so there's that. Uh, yeah. So when all else fails and she feels like she's alone, she comes back to YouTube. YouTube, where, wow, holy hell, YouTube, what has gone on in the last couple of years? Nothing ever ceases to amaze me. Now we're in the as you think they are, or the content is shit until they start making trouble. Gee, who couldn't have seen that coming? So yeah, there's nothing to there. Nothing's there. I don't I still stuff, I keep up with Duff Noodles, I really do. I have to see some really shitty stuff. Tati, I love her. Nope. But, I have talked about Trisha Paytas for years. Like, I don't know where to stand with Trisha Paytas. Like, I was like, "She's a wreck," but I love her anyway. So now I can comfortably say that I love Trisha Paytas, and I love Frenemies, and I love Ethan so much. Just before everybody jumps down my throat, "Oh, she didn't apologize for this. She didn't apologize for that." Yeah, some of us aren't given the opportunity so much. 'Cause that's how I feel today, like I was saying earlier about somebody that I was watching, and I kinda held my breath for a minute, like, what was happening? Do you understand now? Do you get it now? Or has it failed on you? Whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me see. I'm going back to the comments here. Wait a second. Let's see. I didn't see that, and it just got lost on me. Well, anyway, something about the content when I was younger. Hey, listen, everybody gravitates towards something. Okay. I found a little bit of a niche when I first started. I wanted to venture into beauty. I did. I did it my own way. Really going on to hide, to apologize for. And as far as what I say, I'm saying what I'm thinking, what is happening to me. I am not speaking for the rest of everybody else. Everybody else is who they are. I'm speaking for me. And no one's saying that I'm right. It's just who I am. You don't have to watch me. You don't have to be in my life. You don't have to deal with me ever. That's the choice. That's why I feel very strongly about people like you that comment that way, that try to put down people for being who they are because they're real. And when they are real, then you have an issue with that because you don't know how to deal with that. That's not on me, that's on you. And again, respectfully, that's fine. Have an opinion, feel the way you want to feel, do what you want to do in your life. I can't go back in the past and change a damn thing. I can change what I can change now. I'm open to everybody, I listen to everybody. But if it's a line that's being crossed, not in my world. So, as far as my depressed video is concerned, that's damn straight. It's damn straight. I'm trying to do what I do when I feel it. If I feel good, I'm gonna talk about it that day. If I don't feel good that day, I'm not gonna talk about it, right? I don't wanna turn everybody into watching me and being like, and big. So that's my hiatuses because I'm not gonna do that. But at least I'm brave enough and I have enough confidence to do it, even when I'm uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable so much on my channel, it's not even funny. I've been scrutinized on my channel. So, well, you know what? The truth is out there. And if it's not, by all means, say what you have to say because I am not in any way, shape, or form anybody how they should feel, act, or what they should do. Not anymore. Nope, not anymore. I'm not in the business of that. It did not, this was not intended for me to come out here and have you know, a battle. I'm not going to do it. I will talk to anyone who is open enough to be respectful, to be open minded, just like I'm being open minded enough to talk to you after that session down there. So, with that being said, I am going to end this. Wish you all a very good day. Um, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care. That whole thing.